Carla Fleming at Sac State. I don't know if you can see the Sac State Bridge, but you can probably see the Cornet bookstore there. I actually went to Sac State. You didn't go to Sac State?
I didn't go to Sac State.
Oh, where'd
but
you go?
I performed.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sac State, the center of Sacramento in my mind. It's also a place that opened my mind a lot about music, and made me think a lot about the difference between national pop stars and local artists. And you're kind of in between in a way. I mean, you're more of a local artist at this time in 2013, but first of all, do you have aspirations of being a national artist?
Absolutely. I would love to travel and perform my music to like
The
huge
world?
audiences. Yes, all over the world. So absolutely, I would love that. But I also enjoy performing in local.
See, what I get from your music is that it does have a commercial sound. It's two things at one time. It's authentic. Sounds like a real artist. Doesn't sound canned like a lot of pop music turns out to be. In other words, you're not lip syncing. You're not. You know what I mean? It's not just a bunch of electronics that cover up talent. You have that raw talent, and at the same time, it sounds commercial to me. Like it could be big hits. Have you been conscious of commercial songwriting?
Well, absolutely. It's how I view things is like I look at commercial artists and I look at the things that could possibly make these artists sell, and I try to present myself that way, you know, so that I can be. Say, for instance, if you walk into a record store, like Tiffany Records or whatever, you walk in there and you see an album cover that has, you know, some nationally known artist, and then you're looking for someone new that's, you know, I want it to at least be, you know, a contender in that you'll see my stuff, or if you hear my stuff, the quality is the same as that you would play from a national artist.
Okay. So you think the cover art matters?
The cover art matters. I think I've had some, like I said, I've been doing this for a very, very long time. So I've had some opportunities where, with my demos in the past, if you present those things to people on a national form, or if you go and you say you go to the local record store or the radio station, and there are certain things that they look for, like even if they don't necessarily play your stuff, they still want it to have that quality. Like, so you have to have your music mixed and mastered and all of these things for it to even be able to be played on their formats. So because of trial and error and trying all these years to get my music out there, it's like every time you approach the powers that be or whatever, you say, hey, I have this cool song, blah, 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 blah. They'll say, well, it's good, but can you do da, 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 da. So, oh, it needs to sound like this.
Can we mold you into this?
Yeah. So because of that, I've learned to kind of try to, you know, create a quality product without compromising who I am as an artist.
Do you yourself understand all the elements of production? It seems like you do. Like you know what's professional compared to what's a demo.
Right.
So you yourself, do you tell the producer how you want it done, or does the producer have more influence?
It depends on who I'm working with. I definitely know my way around those areas. I like to work with people who can actually offer something to me. Like I want to be a student in the session. Okay. So when I go and when I contact producers or somebody to work with, it's going to be somebody that has something that I don't already have. Like I'm not going to go and find somebody to help me with a project that I can do on my own. Okay. So when I seek out professional assistance from a producer, it's going to be something different from what I already have, and somebody that has a higher skill set than what I have. But clearly I have enough experience to do it on my own.
Now, to me, your music is actually better than a lot of national hits, and I'm not just saying I'm a little bit cynical of the direction pop music has gone, because it's become very canned sounding. It sounds very overproduced. It sounds like too much emphasis is put on the production and not enough on the songwriting and performance. to where you have a lot of these artificial layers in recording now. What's your opinion on popular music, and do you fit into that? In other words, I don't want to sound too old, but I actually think the popular music of the 70s is better than the popular music of now. And 30 years ago, I'm sure people my age were saying the same thing, except that there were a lot of deep messages back then in music, and I'm not hearing that anymore.
Well, I at least have that. You know what I mean? I think I found the formula to present my messages in a way where the music does fit with what's happening today sometimes. You know, I have some songs that, like, if you heard it, it matches what's on the radio. It doesn't take away from what's already on the radio, but it has a message. You know what I mean? So the production or the music is compatible with what's on the radio.
So it's ready to go, radio-friendly music ready to go. If they would just listen and say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I mean, I used to be in radio here in town, and I'll tell you that I would jump on your music if I were still in radio.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It just, it rises above just a lot of what's out there, and the reason is it's got a direct message, and you can hear the melody. It's not buried in a bunch of electronics. So it just sounds like you're coming from a more authentic point of view with your music.
I don't know how to do it any other way. I think, and I don't know if this is appropriate to say or not, but I think, like, in most cases, that's what artists really want. Like, we want the commercial format because that's, you know, that's
it's a vehicle for the masses.
Exactly, but nobody wants to portray like they're authentic artists of themselves, you know. And if you don't have to, there are a few people who don't have to compromise who they are as an artist.
Yeah.
And still,
Stevie Wonder.
Exactly. Like, he is who he is. His sound is what it is, and it's great, and it's like timeless. Like, he's very classic and now.
You just said a word that I think is very important, timeless. There's a big difference between writing timeless music and trendy music. In other words, trendy is just to fit in with what's happening now. Timeless means it can be appreciated during any era, past, present, or future, and mixes in with any era. So it sounds like you have that perspective.
Yeah.
That what you're creating today will still be relevant 20 years from now.
Hopefully, that's my goal. I take that into consideration when I'm writing. And I think because I write about the human condition, that's forever. That never changes.
Right.
So then, of course, the music never changes. It'll never change. The message will never change.
I think you have a positive message.
Thank you.
Even Heartbreak.
Heartbreaker has a positive. Yeah.
Teaches men not to be jerks.
You'll be in good shape if you don't cheat on me.
All right. Thank you very much, Carla.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you, Alex.
Yep.
All right.